Warning, this podcast is not for the faint of heart or anyone who's ever jumped at their own shadow. Listener discretion is advised. Your episode starts in 3, 2, 1. Oh, my fellow smut sluts. Boy, are you in for it today. First off, welcome to the Lusty Library. If this is your first time hearing this horrible, eloquent Boston accent, I'm your hostess, Joey. And in the room with me, I have two other amazing co-hosts who do not have a wicked pissa accent like I do. Birdie, tell the people how amazing I am.
I promise, just get over the Boston accent. If you don't like the Boston accent, first of all, fuck you. And second of all, just keep listening because I promise we're all really fun and Joey's the funniest person I've ever met. So,
1,000%.
That speaks volumes because your partner in crime, he's a funny dude.
He is a funny dude.
I think our humor's a little different.
It is.
Yeah. And Lex, tell everybody how awesome Birdie is.
She is the most awesomest. She is my drift compatible.
Oh, we're drift compatible. Nerds.
And also, you don't get to sidestep that. You get to hear, I think you're amazing, too.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel my hetero life partner is cheating on me with my other co-host. Is this a weird throuple we have happening now?
Are you just coming to that fact right now?
Sometimes it takes me a minute.
Do you not realize we're all true podmates?
Oh, God. We're stuck with each other, huh?
Yeah.
Well, at least we're going to have schmutty books to talk about for the rest of our lives. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the madness. A little bit about what we do here. Each episode, our host picks a romance novel that none of us have read before. We all read it at home, yelling at the books. Then we get together, we pick a signature cocktail that we booze up on, and then we scream and yell about the book. So you're in for a wild ride today. If you're a return listener, oh my gosh, we appreciate you. We love you. But have you done your due diligence? Have you gone to Apple, Spotify, YouTube? Have you given us a rating? Have you let other people know the amazingness that you press play on every other week? Well, if you haven't, get your ass in gear and do it right now. Just look down at your device, 5 stars. If you need nice words to write, let me know. I'll write them for you, and you can just copy, paste them, and put them on our review. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to put a list on our website. I'll add that. Click here for copy for Spotify, YouTube, or Apple reviews.
I actually love that.
I don't usually endorse any kind of AI, but if you have to, go to ChatGPT, say, I love the Lusty Library. Please write me a great review to put up that will fit on your favorite platform.
This is the only use of AI that we endorse.
This is the only way we can let other individuals know who click on our podcast when they're on these platforms that this is where they need to tune into.
Because if you haven't guessed by now, we just want to be adored.
Yeah, I second that.
I just watched you both go, oh, just want to be loved.
I feel like for this episode, we should start with a warning. Everybody, turn your volume down just maybe a quarter because we're coming in hot. There's a lot of opinions about this one, and you're going to see a lot of redlining.
So this is a true, legit listener pick.
Yeah.
We have a very, very loyal follower, Claire on the Cape. I can't tell you, she is absolutely amazing and happens to be one of my friends on Goodreads. So I see all the shit Claire's reading. She sees all the shit I'm reading. When earlier in this season, she shouted out to us, Creedence, I was like, all right, I'm picking it. And I've been holding on to this. What other better way than to show our love to Claire for her support than to have this be my last pick of 2025? But I'm warning you, Claire, you fucked me up. I don't know if I love or loathe this book.
There's a lot of conversation to be had.
I think she did us real fucking solid because she gave us a lot to talk about.
Mhm.
And I mean, she gave me a real good time. A little bit, but we're going to have some shit to talk about.
If you didn't listen to our last episode and have no clue what book we're talking about, well, guess what? We're talking about Creedence by Penelope Douglas. If you're like, never heard of that book, then let me give you the summary. 3 of them, 1 of her, in a remote cabin in the woods. Let the hot winter nights ensue in this steamy dark romance. From New York Times. I never read this, but I copy and paste the whole thing. I don't know why I did that. Why are you laughing at me?
Because Lex and I just rolled our eyes at each other so hard because I've never read the synopsis, obviously. 3 of them, 1 of her.
Tiernan DeHaas doesn't care about anything anymore. The only child of a film producer and a starlit wife, she's grown up with wealth and privilege, but not love or guidance. And when her parents suddenly pass away, she knows she should be devastated. But she's always been alone, hasn't she? Jake Vanderberg, her father's stepbrother and her only living relative, assumes guardianship of Tiernan. Sent to live in the mountains of Colorado with Jake and his 2 sons, Noah and Caleb. Tiernan quickly learns that these men now have a say in what she chooses to care and not care about anymore. As the men take Tiernan under their wing, she slowly finds her place among them. Because lines blur and rules become easy to break when no one else is watching. One of them has her. The other one wants her. But he's going to keep her. You read that and you're like, wow, this is great. This book sounds phenomenal. Oh, God. All right, I think we need to booze it up.
Yeah.
I think we need to booze it up real heavy.
All right.
So today's signature cocktail, it's very, very strong, and I think it's what's needed to slay this beast. We're drinking the Chapel Peak Old Fashioned. Very strong.
I think it's delicious.
Yeah, I think it's pretty great, actually.
Of course.
Bertie, you did a great job on making that pine simple syrup.
Thank you.
Now tell all the listeners where you got pine.
I got it in the parking lot at work. I walked outside with my office scissors and a Tupperware. And there was this lady from the law firm next to us. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. I am sure that she's going to be like, what the fuck? And send me to the cops. I'm hoping she recognized me so she knows that I'm at least not an intruder.
Thank you so much for taking one for the team. My favorite is as we're discussing our cocktail pick and you pull in to your parking lot at work, you're like, oh, fuck. We have a copse of pine trees in our parking lot. Score.
So good.
All right. Salute, everybody.
Salute.
Hopefully we make it through. Let's dive right in. Let's talk about this book. It opens up and we meet our FMC, Tiernan DeHaas.
Such an interesting name. They did mention he's Dutch, but for some reason I just never really correlated that with the name. I just thought the name was kind of strange.
I think it's mentioned 8 times, isn't it? No, I'm kidding. I think it's 3 times it's mentioned that they're of Dutch descent.
No, I know. And I just thought the name was a real weird pick.
The whole time, every time I saw it come up, I had Rammstein in my head going, Du hast.
Du hast mich.
Yes.
That's good.
Thanks. Drift compatible.
Oh my God. It's already starting.
Oh, it's excellent.
She wakes up and finds her parents have committed a double suicide.
Oof, brutal.
Now, her parents are very, very well known. Her father is a well-known producer. Her mother was a starlet over in Hollywood. Come to find out, her father had terminal cancer. They couldn't live without each other and decided to commit suicide.
She is 17 at this point.
17 3/4.
Yeah.
She is 4 months out of turning 18. We slowly find out about the dynamic of the relationship between Tiernan and her parents and the way Tiernan was raised little by little. Tiernan is the type of individual who is emotionless. She's able to close everything off, and she doesn't shed one tear at their death. But now she's all alone. Her mother's assistant is the person that is closest to her in her life.
Mm-hmm.
She goes to a boarding school over in Connecticut.
But there's no friends in that boarding school.
Her mother's assistant, Mirai, sounds amazing.
Oh,
Yes.
my gosh. And the only person that was ever nurturing to Tiernan in her entire life.
Yeah, she sounds very sweet.
Later that night, she sends Mirai away, and she's alone in the house that her parents have killed themselves in. And she gets a call on her cell phone. And it is this gentleman claiming that he is her Uncle Jake. He is her father's stepbrother. And he lives in Colorado, and the lawyers have contacted him because technically Tiernan is still a minor.
He says, you know what, if you want to be emancipated, I won't fight you on it if that's what you want. If there's somebody else you'd rather live with, you go right ahead. She's not responding to him at all on the phone. And he kind of goes, or you could come here. Like that's sort of the last offer that he makes.
Then he starts to tell her about how isolated they are. They're very up in the mountains. The winters are very brutal. They'll get snowed in for 6 months. There's not a lot of people around. They live off the land. And she figures there's no other better place to be. So he gets her a plane ticket, and the next day she shows up.
It's honestly a great plan for her. Considering the shit that her life has been, the paparazzi and the awfulness of having to be a child that was never loved by their parents, doesn't want to be in the limelight and talk about, oh, well, I'm so sad about my parents now to all of these media outlets. Like, yeah, get the fuck out. Go to Colorado, get some fresh air, and be sequestered on a mountain peak. Sounds great.
Oh, I 1,000% understand why she jumped at this chance.
Yeah, it sounds perfect.
So she lands the next day, and she's meeting Uncle Jake for the first time. Uncle Jake and her dad have not been in communication for over 20 years. The thing with Tiernan is the only thing she knows how to do is be alone. So every situation that involves her being around anybody else is awkward and uncomfortable, and she's dreading the car ride. She's hoping that there's music going to be on because the last thing she wants to do is talk to Uncle Jake, who's now she's going to be living with. During the entire car ride, she's saying very minimal things. And then when she sees the candy store, she says, oh, I haven't been to one of those since I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a trigger for him to go ahead and turn around and pull in.
It was really sweet. It was the first thing where I was like, ding, 1 point for Jake.
Yeah.
Immediately, she thinks, oh, my God, he's already had it with me. He's just turning around and bringing me back to the airport.
I know. The poor thing, she's so fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
She gets to the house and she's like, oh, my God, is there going to be indoor plumbing?
Yeah.
What am I going to walk into? But it's a very well taken care of home, a very large patch of land. It's a little dark out, so he doesn't necessarily show her around.
I just wanted to make sure you're not jumping ahead and not giving a full description of the house that I want to live in someday. The description said it smelled like Home Depot when she entered the house.
Home Depot and burnt bacon. You missed the burnt bacon part.
I'm so sorry. How could I have missed that? I was like, sign me the fuck up. Exposed beams, cathedral ceiling in the living room. The place sounds fucking great, except I really do have a problem with the one bathroom. Anyways, carry on.
Well, Jake has 2 sons, Caleb and Noah. And they're probably a couple of years older than Tiernan.
So Caleb's 22 and Noah's 20.
As soon as they get to the house, she gets to meet Noah. And apparently one of their horses has run off. And Noah's supposed to be going to get the horse, but he needed some sustenance, so he grabs a beer out of the fridge. Jake brings her up to her room, and she starts to settle in. This is definitely a 180-degree flip from what she has lived in. This is just a home that normal people live in.
I love that she talks about the house that she grew up in, and it's all white and gray. They didn't decorate at Christmas except for photo shoots for magazines and things like that. Just how sterile a place she grew up in. And then everything about this place is organic. It's earthy tones, it's woods, it's living space with workshop space with animals.
The next morning, she wakes up and the harsh reality sets in that she is not in her family home. She gets up to go to the one bathroom for 4 people.
This is a fucking theme in this book, too. This one fucking bathroom, let me tell you.
She's being very, very quiet because her parents hated any sort of noise.
Oh my God, they sound so miserable.
As she's going to the bathroom, there is a young lady who is walking out topless. And she's like, what the fuck? Uncle Jake didn't tell me he was married. Is this Noah and Caleb's mom? Well, she looks a little too young and a little too taut to be the mother of 2 children. So the girl stops and starts to read Tiernan's sweatshirt.
The difference between pizza and your opinion is that I asked for pizza.
That sweatshirt painted Tiernan in a light of being so young.
Yeah.
That, well, I know 30-year-olds who wear a sweatshirt. Yeah.
But it also says how she feels about other people's input, too.
Absolutely. That was what I took out of that.
Yeah.
After the woman leaves, she goes downstairs and Jake has made coffee and is keeping it warm for her. This is her first morning here. Jake is just trying to have conversation with her and Tiernan is just closed off. She nods her head. She'll say a quick yes, but there are no full conversations being had. Jake asks Tiernan if she wants to help him get stuff done. Tiernan is in a brand new place, never experiencing these things, and she's taking care of herself her entire life. So she has such a level of independence for almost being 18 years old.
Yeah, she gets a task. She does it well.
Yeah, which she didn't have to be that way. She
No.
could have just been a spoiled brat.
Yeah.
But instead, she was like, no, I'm going to fix this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And she figures it out and makes it happen. Over the course of the book, we learn she does all sorts of fascinating things that she teaches herself. I really enjoyed her for that.
Jake and Tiernan go outside. He brings her to the stables. He asks her if she's ever ridden a horse, and she's like, yes. So she gets up on the horse.
Gets on behind her.
Awkward moment number 1.
Awkward moment 0 was when she ran into a woman who's maybe 6 months older than her coming out of her uncle's bedroom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She was young enough to be the man's daughter.
Yeah. And then he's walking around the house all sweaty with his shirt in his back pocket. Seems to be the theme for him.
They're on the horse together. He's showing her the property. At one point, he is blowing her hair out of his face.
Yeah.
And his breath is very close to her neck.
She's conscious of his thighs touching her thighs.
Yeah. Before we get any further in this book, I need to say that Jake is not her blood family.
He is her step-uncle. He is her step-uncle, just in case we need to hear it again as a song.
Jake's mom married Tiernan's father's dad, and they were both already born. So they have 2 different sets of parents. All right. I think that takes the sting away for me just a tad bit.
Barely.
The alcohol was put on it, then someone blowed on it. So it's kind of soothing it just a tad bit. Jake asks if she knows how to shoot, and she says yes, but that she won't shoot animals. You know, we learn to find out she has a great love for animals. And generally, people that are not very good with humans love animals because you don't have to be verbal with them. It's all about your actions and your body language.
God. Oh, that explains so much about my husband. You're really like blowing my mind right now, Joey. Oh, he's not caught up on the episodes. It's fine.
He gives Tiernan a shotgun and he asks her to shoot a rope on a bridge that is across the peak. And she gets it in one shot. Clearly, we know Tiernan can take care of herself.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty dangerous out there. There's all these crazy animals on the peak. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen.
And I loved his response, too. He was just like, oh, well, yeah, I was going to have the boys set up some bottles for you later, but I don't think you'll be needing that.
Nope.
Okay.
You definitely get the vibe that throughout the years, Tiernan has learned all kinds of different skills. She probably was taught writing as a part of the whole show writing piece that a lot of wealthy people do.
She went to summer camp for everything you can possibly imagine. She sounds fucking cool. I want to be friends with her.
Yeah.
I mean, I also want to be rich enough to go to all those camps and not work as an adult. I would like to go to all those camps now. Thank you.
Jake gets off the horse, tells her to bring the horse back to the stable, unsaddle it, then go into the kitchen and make breakfast. And Tiernan's pissed because I'm a woman that I belong in the kitchen. And Jake says to her, do you know how to tend the land? Do you know how to fertilize and till the soil? Do you know how to skin a buck?
Basically list all the chores that are there for the day. And it's like, I know you can do this. Just go.
We need to eat. Everybody does their part here. Mm-hmm. We know he's not her father, but he starts in this almost fathering way at that moment.
He's her guardian. It is his job to put structure in.
Except for the weird, creepy him sitting on the horse with her. So far, he's been doing a great job being a very thoughtful, kind, but still structured guardian.
The horse thing would have been okay if she was younger and hadn't ridden before. The fact that she said, yeah, I can ride, and he still got on the horse.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
He could have even just dropped one line like, okay, well, I'm going to ride with you anyways because we only want to take out one horse. Fine, okay. There's a steep cliff over here, and since you don't know the land, I would feel a little bit more comfortable riding you with this time. Yeah, it could have been one statement in there, but...
How about you don't know where you're going, and I'm showing you the property?
No. People don't know where they're riding all the time. No.
Tiernan says to him, listen, I'm going to be able to leave here in 10 weeks. I'm going to be 18. And he's like, we'll be snowed in 8. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, boy, did my alarm bells go off right there.
She goes back to the barn. She's so pissed off at Jake, she needs to take her frustration out. So she sees a punching bag there and starts to hit the ever-loving crap out of it. Jake is really pushing that button. He's not her father. He's not her father. He's not her father. When Noah catches her and he comes in and he says, hey, why do you think I put this punching bag here? The old man gets on my nerves too. Noah and Tiernan really start to bond over it, and Tiernan starts to realize that maybe Noah and Jake don't necessarily have the best relationship with each other. Later that night, Tiernan won't eat with them. She won't sit down at the table with them. She won't sit in the living room with them. She's like, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. It's not because she's not hungry, but she doesn't know how to be around them. She doesn't want to have conversation with them. So she's just absolutely avoiding them. Oh my God, you want to talk about awkward though. You're living in a house with these people and you won't even sit down and have a meal with them.
Sounds like she never really sat down and had a meal with her folks either. She's not fucking used to it.
Yeah.
Then we begin the awkward montage of getting to know each other and strange, weird happenings. Walking into the bathroom and Jake being in just a towel. Tiernan getting a splinter and Jake sucking it out with his mouth.
I can't even.
Cringe.
Jake fathering Tiernan, saying she needs to stay away from the boys in the town because they only want one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Him reaching to get a glass out of the cabinet in the kitchen over her while he's shirtless.
We go from awkward to cringeworthy. When in the middle of one of the nights, Tiernan wakes up having a nightmare. She used to have night terrors a lot when she was about 4 years old. Suddenly, with everything that's happened, they're coming back. So she wakes up at about 1 o'clock in the morning, ends up realizing there was a small hole in her shirt, and with her night terrors now has a gigantic hole in the shirt.
Her clothes are in the dryer, so she goes out to shop to get another shirt, and she's like mid-changing, and then she starts hearing noises at the door. Jake had done this whole thing of like, don't walk around at night because, bears. And she's like, oh shit. So she grabs a pipe in the shop and is ready to go swinging. Coming through the door, half-naked man, covered in fucking blood because he's got a dead animal, slaps it down on like a table and turns and he sees her. Whoa. Who is this guy? What the fuck?
She comes to the understanding, this is Caleb.
Yes, because he's been gone this whole time.
Oh, where's Caleb? She asked. Oh, he's in. And they don't describe it to her at all. She's like, okay, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh, he's in the woods. So at this point, she was backing up to get away from him and she tripped over something. She's pushed herself back, trying to get away, and she's sitting on the ground against the wall, just staring at him. And he looks over at her like it's normal for there to just be a random girl sitting on the floor. He doesn't say, oh, hey, you must be my cousin that I heard is coming. No. He says nothing to her, goes over, washes his hands. Then he basically just starts going after her like an animal.
Yep. Kissing her, touching her. Her shirt's got the gigantic hole in it, so her breast is exposed.
He's just throwing her around.
There's a car in there. He puts her up on the car. He unbuckles his belt and starts to pull down his jeans.
She's fighting him and saying, stop. No.
This was stressing me out.
Yes.
When he unbuckled his belt, I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, what the fuck?
She said, stop. This can't happen. Stop. You can't do this. Stop. She said, stop numerous fucking times.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure the internal POV that she was having saved this for me at all. She was enjoying it at points. That didn't matter because she still kept saying no. I don't care how much you enjoyed. She kept saying no and no and no. He was just not hearing a word of what she said.
It was fucked up. I don't understand how any part of her was excited by what was happening.
You can be scared and excited at the same time. That's okay. I get it. You can have confused feelings. But if you yell no, if you yell stop, you are making a choice.
You're making an outward statement to another human being.
Yes.
Noah comes in and he's like, what the hell? Let her go. She's not a townie. This is our cousin. Caleb steps back. Noah tells her that Caleb doesn't speak. Tiernan, just being a smartass, goes, is he deaf too? Because I said no like 8 times.
This is why I like Tiernan.
Yes.
I don't always agree with every choice she's made in this book, but I do like Tiernan.
Yeah, for sure.
Noah's like, give him a break. He's always very hungry when he comes back from hunting. And she's like, well, then he needs to eat. And Noah's like, well, that's what he was doing. And Caleb licks his lips.
It was beyond fucked. It was scary. It was a well-written scene.
We've talked about, like, we can vote to DNF something, and I was close. But the way the book was written made me go, okay, let me see where this is going. Let me see how these characters are going to develop. Where are we going to end up at the end?
Yeah.
And that's the sign of a well-written book.
For sure.
Of course, now breakfast the next morning is completely fucking awkward. Tiernan's making pancakes, Caleb's there, and she's talking to him. And of course he's not answering back. They finally all sit down at the table to have a meal. Tiernan gives Jake pancakes, gives Noah pancakes, and decides to not give anything to Caleb. And Caleb decides to pick up the remainder of the plate that's in the middle of the table, put it in front of him, put all the syrup on it, and go ahead and start to eat those. Just to be spiteful.
Jake is like, ugh. And he gives Tiernan his plate, and he goes and gets himself a plate. And you automatically get the dynamic of how these men have already been dealing with each other this whole time. Caleb acts in a very outlandish sort of way. The other two just deal with it. They find a way to manage him.
There's this other fucking weird interaction that Tiernan and Caleb had, which gave me the heebie-jeebies. She was like doing some stuff in the barn and she heard a weird sound and then she looked over and she got caught watching Caleb get a blowjob from some girl in town. He opens his eyes for a second and sees her watching. She continued to watch.
Yeah.
She didn't run away. She stayed for the whole show.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Caleb's not going to say anything about it because he doesn't speak. But so nobody says anything about it. And then we just carry on. Their relationship, I so confused.
We find out that Jake and Noah built custom dirt bikes.
Hot.
They have a shop where they do these custom bikes. And then they tend the land. They grow things, they can things, they kill things.
They kill things.
Hot.
You could say hunt, but sure. Yeah, they kill things.
They kill things.
So there's always motocross riders that are coming through, looking at the bikes. It really becomes this is a big community thing that happens. A bunch of guys come up that no one knows that are part of the motocross community, and they're all sitting and chatting. Tiernan had just come back from getting some hay at the feed store. She's unloading it with Jake. And Noah screams over and says, "Hey, Tiernan, we're going to town. Do you want to come with us?" Jake's like, "You should go. I got to go run some errands." As she starts to walk over and go to grab the helmet from Noah's hand, Caleb grabs it first, throws it on the ground, and makes a head nod for her to go back to the house. Well, she's fucking devastated. She feels just completely rejected. She's pretty fucked up over this. She's like, what the fuck did I do to this guy? This dynamic was just so fucking weird for me.
Why the fuck would she listen to what he tells her to do? He's not the boss of her.
17. In the middle of nowhere, with people she doesn't know, new surroundings. She hasn't really gotten her bearings yet. We're in what, day 3? It takes her a while to get her feet under her.
She's not going to let this bring her down. She decides, oh, I remember during our guided tour through the property that there's a lake. You know what? I'm going to grab my book, I'm going to grab some snacks, and I'm going to go down. Oh, shit. Uncle Jake did mention that I should probably protect myself. So the girl grabs a shotgun, brings it with her, and goes down by the lake. She's going to swim, and there's nobody there, and it's quiet and relaxing. And then all of a sudden, a guy pulls up on a bike.
Ugh.
And this guy looks familiar. He was hanging out with these other motocross guys. It's this upcoming star in the motocross community, Terrence Holcomb. And he gets in the water and he starts flirting with her. Maybe we should get together. Maybe we should hook up. And it's becoming very flirty banter. And Tiernan's actually contemplating it.
She's like, well, I'm leaving in 10 weeks anyway. You know, the guys are definitely getting their own action. I could choose to have my own action. He's not bad looking. I don't need attachments. I don't need him to love me.
Before she can really make up her mind if she will or she won't, here comes rolling up Caleb and Noah. And guess what Caleb has in his hand?
Oh, would it be another gun?
This was fucking insane.
Yeah.
For Caleb, the brooding, silent person, to walk over and basically just be threatening this guy with a gun? What is she, Rapunzel? They're going to keep her in their big, tall peak, in their big, tall mountain house, and she won't be able to go anywhere and see anybody? This is crazy that he's assaulting this guy with a gun.
There's a difference between your cousins rolling up and going, Tieran, get away from him.
Or how about, Terrence, why don't you go take a fucking hike and get away from my cousin?
True.
Instead of them controlling her and telling her what to do, how about they roll up and tell Terrence what to do? There's a big difference there.
Yeah, you're absolutely.
So they came in and were doing this ultra mega protective thing. It felt a little creepy. I didn't like Noah being a part of it because I really liked him so much.
Oh my God, you and the
I
ones
know.
you like and you don't like the
I know.
actions.
I'm with you on alarm bells number 2. Well, actually, we're probably at like 5 now.
There's some other bells that were going off that we haven't even talked about, but yes.
There were sirens earlier.
Yeah.
Noah makes Tiernan get on the back of his bike, and he rides her back up to the house. They run into Jake. Where were you? What was happening? Who were you with? And Noah rats her out and tells him everything. Jake is absolutely upset over this and basically says Terrence has a reputation. They have a clubhouse where they have a scoreboard of every woman they fuck. They do group sessions and gangbangs. You need to stay away from him. This is not a good guy. Tiernan leaves. She comes back a little bit later, and Caleb is now back. And Caleb is fucked up. He's got scrapes and cuts, and his lip is bleeding. She doesn't feel bad for Caleb. She calls him out. You weren't really protecting me. You were basically swinging your dick is
Yeah.
what you were doing.
Yeah.
So you get everything that you got for it. And then on day 3, complete and utter blow up. Jake starts calling her out and saying, you don't spend any time with us. You don't care about getting to know us. You don't know how to function in a family unit.
This is so bold after some of the fucking side chats that they've had.
Yeah.
One of the little scenes that happened as we're leading up to this, her trying to go brush her teeth in the morning, Jake's shaving his face, and they end up having a conversation. She does this weird thing where she puts shaving cream on her face like, are you going to be my daddy now? Are you going to treat me like your little boy? And I'm going to learn how to shave with you. And so she shaves her face with her finger with him. I'm describing it in kind of a creepy way. It was kind of sweet, but then he had to take it to the next level and be like, have you ever been with a man, Tiernan? And he asks her all these really fucking creepy things as they're having that interaction. And I was like, what is happening?
It did turn it from this kind of parental moment to definitely not.
Right? And it sucked because Jake was super hot. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying Noah is hot, but that's because he's the one that I know I'm allowed to like. If I'm putting myself in the FMC's shoes, I'm not supposed to find him attractive. I mean, right now, I'm like, oh, he's definitely within my age bracket. Jake is hot. Like, 10 out of 10 would go for him.
But I'm sorry, you're not in his age bracket.
Yeah,
I know.
His threshold is 25.
Oh, fucking, ugh.
As we find out his backstory, I think now we know the reason why he's got these relationships that he has.
Yeah, he's stunted. Yes. He's traumatized from the age of 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Right.
The lens that he has when he looks at women is from that time.
He has a very emotionally mature way to look at him. I'm very proud of you. And I'm just like, fuck you, dude. Grow the fuck up and get some therapy.
As this conversation starts to heat up, the last thing he says to her is, you're a spoiled brat. She's trying to get her words together, and I think reality finally hits her. She goes, I just don't know how to be around people. I've always been alone, and goes up to her room.
He got that breaking point out of her. I give him credit for pushing her in a parental way for development.
Well, he even said that he was bound and determined to like get her to have more than one word responses and just do anything, smile, cry, shout.
Yeah.
Anything but be quiet and closed off.
The next morning, things are a tad bit calmer, and Jake and Tiernan end up meeting up in the kitchen, and he gives her a hug. And that's his basic way of apologizing to her. And I think Tiernan feels warmth for the first time. She can't remember a time when she got a hug that wasn't from a nanny or Mariah.
It's fucked up.
Jake and Noah kind of made some comments about the way Tiernan was raised, and I think that's ultimately what happens. Her parents were in the spotlight, and they were abso-fucking-lutely obsessed with each other and themselves. They had a child because they thought that's what needed to happen, but they were resentful of Tiernan because Tiernan was going to take them away from each other.
They had no room in their lives for anybody but themselves.
It's so fucked.
Yeah.
I can't fathom.
There was one flashback about seeing the dynamic in the relationship with Tiernan and her parents. I thought that would have been more to really give you a sense of how bad it was.
I thought the opening of the book where she describes looking at the tire swing and being like, I thought they put it up for me. At night, her father would push her mom on it, and they would just laugh and be enjoying it together, and how romantic, and ugh.
Welcome to the bird brain moment of this episode. Does anyone remember if it's the front yard or the backyard?
Front.
Yeah. And so that's my fucking problem with this book. In LA, in a beautiful, sterile fucking house with marble countertops and pristine things and bowls of glass balls and shit, you do not have a fucking tire swing in the front yard.
oh, they did it to be cute and in love, and it's a part of the love story in the image of them in Hollywood of it's an innocent love, it's a true love, it's a romantic love. Blah.
That bugged the living shit out of me. That concludes the bird brain portion of this episode. Thank you. Good night.
After the hug, Jake tells Tiernan that she is with him that day, and they go out to fix portions of the fence. Now, welcome to the day in the life of Jake. We find out all the beautiful details about Jake's life. Noah and Caleb's mom is currently in the clink for drugs and child neglect, we later find out. And she is sentenced to 15 years. The reason that Jake got with their mom is because he had a star-crossed love when he was 19 with a woman named Flora. Their grandfather had this house on Napa Valley, and Flora's family worked on there. They had this beautiful summer romance. He was absolutely obsessed and in love with her. He was going to marry her.
And the family did not approve.
Yeah. One night, Tiernan's mom takes Flora out, and they have a little too much to drink, and Flora sleeps with another man.
She was set up to make it seem like she had slept with another man. So she woke up the next morning in this guy's bed and was like, oh my God, I cheated on Jake. I'm such a shitty person.
This other man was Tiernan's dad.
Yes, fucked. They then were like, well, you really shouldn't tell Jake about this. You should just leave. And if you want to leave, that's fine. We'll give you some money to help set you up in a different place. Here you go. Paid her off.
Jake is finally able to track her down at an apartment in San Diego, and she doesn't want to see him. She says it's over. Come to find out, she commits suicide a week later.
It's conniving.
Mm-hmm. So this is why Jake could never forgive Tiernan's parents.
Can you blame the guy?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
He left that day after he found out Flora died and never looked back. Ended up landing in Colorado and decided to never leave, and that's where he's built his life at. After a long day of work in the land, they get back and they find Caleb cutting wood. Caleb's lip is bleeding. Jake needs to go off and run a quick errand and says, hey, Caleb needs help. Why don't you go help him, Tiernan? And she reluctantly goes over with some ointment, and they kind of have a softer moment. She helps him and puts ointment on his lip a little more than she needs to.
It didn't need to happen that way.
No.
He could have just put it on himself.
But he didn't.
No.
I know.
She said something to the effect of, let me help you, which just speaks about their relationship.
It speaks about her youth, and she's just pushing things and trying to figure stuff out. You do dumb shit like that when you're 17, 18 years old.
But another couple of days pass, and we get to Noah's POV, and he is fucking this chick.
It's so awkward to read this, where he's just like, I just wish we could get this over. He's trying to imagine other people.
He just is miserable with his life in general. He runs out of the bedroom and he finds Tiernan trying to get into the bathroom at the same time. He's trying to get into the bathroom and he's trying to run away from this woman. Jake is downstairs calling, Noah, get up, Noah, over and over again. And he's like, everybody wants me today. He ends up pushing Tiernan into the bathroom. He's like, I need your help. You're not going out there. You have to stay with me. She wants my dick. She might want my dick again.
This scene fucking killed me. I'm like, can she not have a normal relationship with any man in this house?
No.
It was just so weird. They started grappling because she wanted to get out of the bathroom. And he was like, no, just tell her that you're in here so that she'll think that I'm gone or something and she'll go away. And then they both tip over into the shower curtain and they grab it and they pull it down as they're falling. And then before you know it, they're both sitting on top of each other in the shower while the water's running because she had already turned the water on to get in the shower and let it warm up. And then they just end up sitting there with her sitting on top of Noah in this like very compromising position. He probably smells like sex, you know? They just end up having full conversation while they're sitting there soaking wet in the shower. And it's like pretty intimate. I loved the conversation, but like, why?
I saw it as very playful banter in the beginning, almost like a brother and sister dynamic. And then,
100%.
unfortunately, the proximity turned it a bit on the sexual side for them.
Yes.
And I think that's the line of this entire book. Should we, shouldn't we, maybe, attraction, chemistry, family, not family. It was almost like a snow globe that you just kept shaking the whole time and it just never settled until the end of the book.
Yeah.
The connection between the two of them was built in that tub that day.
It was built in that tub. No, but you're right. That was a big turning point for Noah and Tiernan, for sure.
Because he becomes the person that she can talk to.
And the same for him.
Yeah.
Yes. They had a very sweet relationship at first.
Yeah.
It did maintain the whole way through, but except for that one little moment.
Every relationship has a moment.
Not moments like that.
They all go to the lake that day. Caleb and Noah are jumping off the cliffs into the water. Jake asks Tiernan if she knows how to fish. She's like, yeah, I got it. And apparently she doesn't know how to fish. So Jake gets a little close in awkward moment number 433 of this book.
Can you feel my eyeballs rolling?
At the fact that he is that close or the fact that Tiernan is now turned on. Which fact are you rolling your eyes at?
The fact that he felt like he had to teach her how to fish despite the fact that she was doing just fine on her own.
She wasn't, actually.
No, she wasn't. She was
No.
doing a really bad
Oh,
job
I
of
thought
it.
she was doing okay.
No.
Okay.
Instead of standing beside her with his own
Yes.
rod, teaching her the proper way to cast.
Did he have to wrap his
No.
hot, sweaty body around
No,
her?
He didn't, but he
God damn it.
He didn't have to, but he did.
He fucking did.
Tiernan and Jake are sitting there fishing. He talks about the cave, and if a boy ever wants to bring her to this cave, know that he wants to do very bad things to her. Tiernan makes a comment like, oh, well, you should bring me to the cave. Sexual innuendo number 53 if we're tracking.
Even Jake was like, what?
Yeah.
And she was like, no, I just mean like, if you take me, I'll be safe. And he was like, yeah, okay.
So as she's all hot and bothered with Jake's proximity and she is so turned on, she decides she's going to run away to the cave. She gets into the cave and she starts daydreaming about Jake coming up behind her and touching her, and she decides she's going to touch herself in the water. She's going at it pretty hard when she hears a "get away from me."
Jesus. Fucking wild.
Uh-huh.
And out of one of the tunnels comes Cece.
Fucking Cece.
Her face is bleeding, and then slowly behind her, from the same tunnel, comes Caleb. Fuck, what did Caleb do to her? This is the same girl that gave him the blowjob in the barn.
You are alone in the middle of nowhere, and in the house is this guy that attacked you. And now you've just seen a woman come out who's bleeding, who was giving a blowjob to Caleb earlier.
I was scared of Caleb.
He's terrifying. At no point was I like, ooh, he's dreamy.
No.
No.
No, not once. Not ever. He tried to rape her. End of story.
Yeah.
They end up going to this motocross pop-up race, and you can just see the tension between Jake and Noah. They don't have the best father-son relationship.
Noah wants out. He just wants to leave.
I actually felt kind of bad for Noah because I thought Jake was not the worst dad. But in that moment at that race, I was like, Jake, what the fuck, dude? You're not even going to watch your son? Like, he won the race. And Jake was like, yeah, whatever.
I think he's more concerned about, just like any parent is, your child's future and making sure that they can take care of themselves. Motocross is a very dangerous sport, and you could have a long career or a short career. It's just a parent being a parent and not being able to communicate in the right way of making your child understand.
Yeah.
He's got a history here of not necessarily verbalizing what he's thinking or feeling.
No. Tiernan is definitely the new and shiny in the community, and all these local people are drawn to her. At one point, Cece comes up to her at the bonfire and starts dancing with her. And
Oh, my God.
the locals like Terrence and Cece are wanting to get Tiernan on their side. They know what kind of family she comes from.
Yeah.
They know that she has money. They're trying to bait her by putting her against the Vanderburgs.
I mean, she's the package. She's beautiful. She's alone, and she's got money.
If we thought shit couldn't get any more cringeworthy, Jake yelled at Tiernan for dancing with Cece and every guy in the community looking at her. The ride home is really awkward, where there are these one-night stands that are coming home with them, and Tiernan calls them out and goes, "You guys can sleep with whoever you want, and I'm just dancing at a bonfire, not asking for attention, and I get scolded for it?" And Jake pretty much says, "Do I have to take you over my knee and spank you?"
No.
Why?
Later that night, Tiernan has one of her night terrors, ends up going downstairs, and Jake is in the kitchen. Weird flirty banter. I don't even know how we got to where we got.
From the time he picks her up at the airport, she notices that Uncle Jake is attractive. She talks about his arms. She talks about his chest. Tiernan's been looking the whole time. She's a teenage girl with hormones.
Yeah.
She's downstairs in panties and a tank top. Jake's like, "What are you doing down here?" She's like, "I was hungry," and starts to make eggs and is really teasing him.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it fucking explodes and the two of them start making out in the fucking kitchen together.
I can see you cringing.
Okay. So it was really hot.
There's tons of sexual tension there.
The description was incredibly hot. But the whole time I'm like, "Nyang, nyang, 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 nyang."
Not to be confused with your yum, 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 yum.
Exactly. Nyang, 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 nyang is different from yum, 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 yum.
Yep, okay.
There are multiple women in the house right now, and both brothers are upstairs. The likelihood of somebody walking down who should absolutely not be seeing this is pretty high.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, stop.
Then I got a girl hard on when Jake backed away and he stopped the whole situation. He said, "You know what? You're not stable right now. A lot of things have happened to you."
Oh, I have this highlighted just in case you're wondering what the exact quote is.
Please give it to us.
"I'm lonely and an emotionally stunted child. And you're the first woman I've been around long enough to get connected to in the past 20 years. He stands up straight, running a hand through his hair. And you're just a neglected orphan desperate for attention. That's all this is."
Ding, ding, ding. What do you have for him, Johnny?
Me dropping my panties for him at that moment. And this was the hard thing because I was like, "Jake. Jake. Oh, Jake."
Yeah.
It's one thing to be tempted. It's not his child, teenage pretty girl. Okay, he's a male. I get it. To stand up and say no and choose no. Great. Jake got points there.
No worries, because sexual tension montage number 23 coming in hot. Noah, Caleb, and Tiernan go get burgers together.
Oh my God. Okay. This was the first moment where I thought Caleb was hot as fuck.
They roll up on the burger place, order 83 burgers with bacon, 4 milkshakes, a Diet Coke. They roll up to the window. The drive-thru girl says hello to Noah, and Noah says something bad and derogatory to her. She throws a Diet Coke into the window, and now it's all over the seat. Tiernan is the cream in the Oreo Caleb Noah cookie. Caleb picks her up, puts her on his lap in the passenger side of the pickup.
So that she doesn't have to have a wet Diet Coke coochie.
Yep.
Yeah. And just goes back to twirl on his phone like nothing is happening.
All right, he's getting hotter.
Yeah.
We're not excusing him for almost raping her.
No, not at all. Tiernan gets a call from Mariah that her parents' funeral is the next day. Tiernan decides she's going to go. Tiernan asks for a ride to the airport, and Jake says, well, why don't you take one of the trucks? You can park it there at the airport, so when you come back, you have a way to get home, and you're not stranded at the airport. Tiernan basically says, I don't know how long I'm going to be there. They're concerned she's not coming back. She does a lot of growing at the funeral, where the realization of the way she was raised and things that are happening, that she no longer wants to live that life. She's finding comfort in being with Jake, Noah, and Caleb, and learning all these new things and tending for the land and actually having connections. The following morning after the funeral, Jake and Noah are downstairs, and Noah's upset and looks at his dad and says, hey, you need to go get her. Jake's like, listen, she's dealing with some stuff. They just buried her parents yesterday. You gotta give her time.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, they hear a door open upstairs. And who comes flying downstairs?
Tiernan.
Yeah. She immediately came back.
They were all so mopey and sad without her. When she came downstairs, they were all like little hearts in their eyes. They were so happy to see her again and blown away that she came back. And she was like, what are you doing? We got stalls to muck and shit to do. Let's fucking go. And they both were like, yes, ma'am. And like stood up and went after her. We're like, yes, can't wait to do chores with you. Let's go.
I mean, she had the opportunity. She was home. Mariah was there. They got a chance to reconnect. She could have stayed in LA. She could have taken her money and gone someplace else. She chooses to go back to Colorado.
Right.
Weeks pass, and they're all starting to get used to each other. It's now becoming they're a cohesive unit. Tiernan's learning new things every day, and is finally here, her 18th birthday. They all end up going out for dinner, and she's all excited because she hasn't worn a stitch of makeup or done her hair, and she's got dirt under her nails. She bought this summer dress even though the snow is coming. She dons her Louis Vuitton heels, and they go out to dinner. She really pushes the limit and says to Uncle Jake, hey, can I have a drink now that I'm technically an adult?
Mm-hmm.
Jake is like, let's walk into the bar. Jake knows the bartender, and she gets a drink. They're all starting to get there and relax. And there's a bachelorette party there. And after Tiernan puts on Joan Jett, Do You Want to Touch? The bachelorette party pulls her in and starts to dance with her. Generally, she would find this to be a very awkward moment. But she's like, well, I don't need to talk to these people. So, okay, I can do this.
And she lets go. Just enjoys the music, does her thing.
As the song is winding down, she starts to see Terrence there, and he starts chatting with her. Terrence mentions to her, you know, one of my friends. And here comes over Cece.
Fucking Cece.
And when Tiernan looks around, they're surrounded by other motocross guys. Again, they try to get her to come stay down with them when the snow hits.
They accuse the Vandenbergs of just wanting to keep her all to themselves, keep her in seclusion, keep her for the money, want to get her pregnant to keep her.
Ugh, like cringy.
All of a sudden, Caleb comes stomping over, grabs Tiernan by the arm, pulls her towards his body, kisses her on the forehead, and then turns around and punches the shit out of Terrence.
Yeah.
Bar brawl ensues.
I enjoyed that part.
Yes,
that
it
was
was a
good.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
The bartender's got a baseball bat out. Jake grabs Tiernan, gives her the keys, tells her to go wait in the truck. A couple of minutes later, they're all running out of the bar, all hopping into the truck. Caleb ends up getting into the driver's seat. Well, there's a bunch of motocross bikes parked on the curb right in the parking lot. And Caleb gets the brilliant idea that it's time to go play bumper cars.
Oh, it's so bad.
He speeds the truck up and runs over all the bikes.
Oh, pictured like an 80s movie where everybody breaks out at the bar and they just come out of the door and and they yell, "Oh, you're dead!
Yeah.
You're dead!"
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there were two police officers standing outside their police car who witnessed this entire
They
scene.
jump in the car.
Oh, listen, I love a bad boy, but this is like too bad.
Unhinged.
This is too bad. This is scary.
Here goes the race up the side of the mountain to the peak to get home. Now it's already started to snow.
Yeah, it's snowing.
On windy roads.
Nope.
Why the motocross bikes were even out is beyond me. If you know snow's coming, aren't you taking your normal vehicle?
Yeah, who knows?
It's the Vandenberg's truck, followed by motocross, followed by police car.
Lights a flashing, snow a falling, hill a curving, and slowly but surely they're fishtailing all the way up the peak.
Here's the thing, though. Like, a good driver is also very hot.
Yeah.
And Caleb is also a very good driver.
Yes.
I liked the way that they described where he's like driving in the gravel shoulder to get more traction. Even when they go over the side of the mountain a little bit, he's got full control. Because this is Colorado and because they have what I assume is a lifted, heavy-duty pickup truck, they are able to drive through the woods.
Yep.
He shuts the fucking lights off on the truck and drives them back to the house in pitch black fucking darkness. Okay, it was kind of hot.
They lose the bikes, they lose the police car, the whole bit.
So everybody gets back to the house. A couple of hours go by. It's now the middle of the night. Tiernan wakes up and there's already 3 inches of snow outside. It's all really starting to come down. She realizes, oh shit, it's cold in here. I have no wood. She decides to go downstairs to the living room and go get some of the wood. She's standing in front of the fire, warming up her legs. She turns around and there is Caleb sitting in a chair with a shotgun in his hand, just staring at her. And then here comes Noah with another shotgun and a beer in his hands. They basically explain to her that there's a bit of a concern that the guys are going to come up and take her and bring her back down the hill. And they know the Vandenbergs won't be able to go get her because the snow will be too heavy for them to leave. So they're protecting the house and protecting her. And she's like, you're protecting me? Yeah, magical moment.
Magical?
You don't think it's a magical moment? When 2 brooding men are sitting in the living room of the house you're living in, who are your step cousins, not by blood, that you are very sexually attracted to. One tried to stoop you in the shop, and they say they're there with their guns protecting your life. You don't think that's magical?
And I'm sitting there going, closed off from the rest of humanity for 6 months with limited supplies, the possibility of people invading, and the only people to protect me are the ones that are unstable.
Yeah.
But see, it's a fine line between protection and controlling.
Yes. I think that's the nail on the head right there.
They all decide to sit on the couch and relax a little bit, and Tiernan asks, well, how do you get through a rough winter?
They watch movies.
So after watching a little risky business, Noah looks at Tiernan and says, you want to know how we get through a rough winter? And he flicks on a porn. But then Noah starts rubbing his crotch and eventually pulls his dick out. Tiernan is completely turned on. Under her blanket, she is now touching herself. And then she doesn't realize it's 20 degrees downstairs in the living room and probably freezing that the blanket suddenly falls off of her.
Gosh, how did that happen?
You wouldn't notice that temperature change when you're that turned on. What starts as mutual masturbation to then Noah touching her, licking her nipples, asking her what she wants. Caleb is still sitting in the chair. He is definitely breathing heavy, though. And he's watching what's happening with Noah and Tiernan.
Partway through the process, Caleb gets up, gets on the couch. She is sandwiched between them. It's getting steamy. And then stomp, stomp, stomp down the stairs.
God.
Jake breaks it up.
Jake yells at the boys to go upstairs. He is pissed off. And he drags Tiernan into the kitchen and says, what do you think you're doing? What were you going to let them do to you? I have to teach you your lesson.
Oh, this fucking guy. I can't with this shit.
You knew this was coming.
Yes, the spanking 'twas foreshadows. It's just so fucking hypocritical. It's painful.
The worst part about this whole scene, as he takes Tiernan over his knee, he's saying to her, Tiernan, will you ever do this again? And she goes, no, Uncle Jake.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, no.
Yeah,
I
she says
know.
Uncle Jake first and then switches to Jake.
I would have been fine until the Uncle Jake came out. I know they're not blood, but fuck.
Definitely there by design.
Yep.
When it's all over, he's extremely turned on.
Mm-hmm.
He puts his hands between her legs and feels the wetness. Jake makes a comment like, Tiernan, don't make me do this again because it hurts the both of us. Oh my God. It's the next day, and Jake gets a brilliant idea that they're all going to go out hunting.
Mm-hmm.
He gives Tiernan a gun, and they have a buck in their sights, and he asks Tiernan to shoot it. And Tiernan's like, I can't do it. And he says, I need to know that if anything happens to me or the boys,
Mm-hmm.
that you're going to be able to take care of yourself. You need to do this, Tiernan.
He makes a great point.
Yeah.
He does.
And she shoots the buck.
And then just cries.
Noah and Caleb go get the buck, and Jake tells him, go ahead and bring it home. I'm going to bring Tiernan home. Tiernan and Jake start yelling at each other. Tiernan says, I didn't want to disappoint you. I have no clue why I'd care so much about what you think of me. And she slaps him. And he starts yelling back at her. And then all of a sudden, they start fucking making out outside in the cold after she killed a buck.
Adrenaline's running.
With Noah and Caleb like maybe feet away, putting the buck in the truck.
I know, it made me so nervous.
What the fuck is happening here?
I know. I'm like, Jake, you fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
He just wanted her for himself.
Oh, it fucking broke my heart, though. I was like, Jake, what the fuck are you doing? You were so smart, and then you just lost it.
Really, Tiernan?
Mm.
You're losing your virginity to your step uncle in the back of a pickup truck in the middle of the woods?
She enjoyed every second of it, though.
I mean, she sure did. Okay, he made it fun for her.
Yeah.
Sounded like a pretty good time.
Okay. All right. Here's my deal. I can't. I can't. No, they're not related. Age gap for me is okay when they're older, when the younger person has been out in the world and has seen a couple things. She's just barely over her birthday.
It's been fucking 48 hours.
Till she was legal.
Yeah.
But emotionally, she's not that much different than 2 fucking days ago.
Right.
She's figuring her shit out, so I give her a pass.
Right.
Because of hormones, because of the way she's been brought up. She is emotionally stunted. She is touch-starved. She just wants to feel and feel good. Jake has no fucking excuse. He is an adult. He is a man who has seen the world and has experienced things. Here's the part for me that's the clincher. He has chosen to be her guardian. He has absolutely stepped over that line, and that is where I go, no. Fuck you, Jake. No. No, 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 no. I'm off my soapbox now.
Great. Well, nonetheless, the trucks are rocking, so don't come a knocking 3 times in a row. They're cock and cunt drunk as they head back into the house.
I just couldn't even believe how bold they were going back to the house. He carries her with her legs wrapped around him. Noah and Caleb could have easily looked outside and seen them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they didn't have to look outside because they were right inside the door, and they knew something was just a little weird.
They were both like rosy cheeked.
Yeah. And their shirts were open. Tiernan goes upstairs to get cleaned up. And Jake tells Noah and Caleb that he made a mistake.
I mean, neither of them take it great.
Jake and Tiernan end up spending the night together. Tiernan wakes up in the middle of the night and finds Jake in the bathroom looking at a tattoo that he has that says, "My Mexico." And he is thinking about Flora and how Tiernan is the first woman he's connected with since Flora and how it's so easy and she is so young. Tiernan tells him, "Close your eyes and pretend like I'm her." And they end up having sex in the shower. The majority of these sex scenes were just framed in such a weird way for me that I was just like, I don't know. I'm listening to these words and I'm like, just no, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it was definitely an interesting exploration in character dynamic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say that 100%.
Yeah. I definitely wanted to keep reading. Was I annoyed at certain moments where I was just like, okay, now they're fucking 5 times a day for like ever. But it felt like forever.
Later that night, Tiernan's going back to her room to get some sleep, and someone is smoking a cigarette on the staircase from the 2nd to the 3rd floor. He comes down, pulls the wet red peonies she has out of her hand, and they start to fight for them. He's able to wrestle them out of her hands. He pushes her into her room, throws her on her bed, grabs a Sharpie from her nightstand, and writes the word slut on her fucking forehead.
That was brutal.
He's hot and he's cold.
Yeah.
It is so roller coaster ride that the minute you want to love Caleb, you're like, well, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
That was fucked up.
The next morning really does not go well. As they're sitting down at the breakfast table, Tiernan's just ignoring Caleb. Her and Noah start to joke and play around at the table. Caleb is not liking it. He ends up pushing his oatmeal into her milk glass, which then spills all over her. She knows that he did it intentionally because of the way she was acting with Noah. So she stands up and now she has milk all over her shorts and she's like, I'm not backing away from him. She starts to take her shorts off at the fucking kitchen table. Caleb then takes oatmeal on a spoon and flings it at her.
I kind of actually love the way she taunts him and starts treating him like a baby.
Jake's like, Caleb, what the fuck are you doing? And Tiernan's like, oh, no. Jake, it's okay. Don't worry about it. This is how babies communicate when they can't use their words. And she looks at Caleb and goes, Caleb, you hungry? You want more? And starts doing the sign language for more, like you do for little children. Caleb fucking loses it and he flips the fucking table.
Was anyone expecting anything other than Caleb flipping the table at that?
No.
Because that was kind of a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was kind of like, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Poke that bear. Everybody tiptoes around him and fuck him.
Yeah, that's true. They can't just let this man be unhinged all the time.
He's like that because they've done that.
But she's also pushing him to be unhinged at the same time. I was a little bit torn by the whole situation.
Well, I didn't say my reaction was healthy.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to be a shit every once in a while.
Yes, you are.
Tiernan is finding a lot of solace making treats for the horses. She used old tires and made a little house for the chickens so that they could stay warm. She is really starting to feel at home there and is kind of at peace with the surroundings. And she likes working hard. She likes doing things. She ends up walking by the workshop and she finds Caleb there and he is skinning a buck. And he turns around and sees her. He has blood on him and he takes his fingers and puts the blood and licks it off of him and then smiles. She just fucking shakes her head at him and she hears him laugh. She's like, did he just laugh?
It's not that he doesn't just not talk. It's he doesn't make any sounds at all, ever. the women he sleeps with, a couple of them have said, I want to make you moan. Never moans, never yells out.
On her way out of the shop, she sees stairs that go up into like a storage unit, and she ends up walking up there and finds all this old furniture. She gets a brilliant idea. She's going to work on this furniture. She's going to design it, strip it. She's going to repaint it. So the next day, her and Noah are in the workshop working side by side. Conversation just starts to get a little heated because Noah wants her. And he's making it very clear. He's like, hey, if my dad didn't come down that day, what would have happened in the living room? She admits that she wouldn't have stopped the situation. Noah's like, I'll treat you good. I want to make love to you. Noah's never made love to a woman. He fucks women. They start to make out, and Tiernan stops it.
She actually doesn't want to bed hop.
The next morning, she's downstairs. She's doing sketches of these chests that she's going to redo. She's having a hard time making her colors match, and here comes over Caleb. He grabs one of the pencils, and he holds it in a particular manner, and he starts blending the colors and using his fingers. And here is soft Caleb again. They're just having a moment. He's unfurling some of the crumpled designs she's doing and flattening them out for the ones he likes. And she tells him she used to draw and sketch a lot when she was a kid, and she'd give them to her parents. They'd pretend like they'd hang him up, and then the next day she'd find him in the trash. She comes down again another time and finds her sketches up on the refrigerator.
All the ones that she had even put in the trash.
Mm-hmm.
When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's fucking ice cold. Oh, my God. With this fucking guy. The fact still remains that he borderline raped her. Is she just fucking gonna forget about that?
She's good at stuffing down and ignoring trauma.
Jake is going to go up to the fishing cabin, and he's going to go for a couple of days. She's a little leery about staying with Caleb and Noah at the house. The three of them sit down and have dinner. She's finishing her homework in the kitchen. A couple of hours later, goes on to the living room, and Noah's had a couple of drinks. And he starts to make some passes at her.
Mm.
She is just completely rejecting him again, saying, hey, you're drunk.
That's the one thing I'll say so far up through the book is she has chosen whenever it's going to go all the way. She's like, I had the opportunity to be fucked during school and all kinds of things in my life in LA, and I have chosen not to be. I chose to be fucked by Jake.
Then she slaps him across the face.
Yeah.
Bah! Later that night, there's a cry from Tiernan's room. Noah hears it, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And as he's going into Tiernan's room to make sure she's okay, Caleb is already heading into her room. He is curling into bed with her, putting her head on his chest and soothing her, and she instantly starts to calm down. And Noah realizes this is not the first time this has happened.
Oh my God, creepy.
See, if he hadn't tried to rape her, I would have found it to be very sweet. Kind of.
I was going to say, coming into my bed uninvited.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God.
No!
As Noah is watching this, he smells a fucking fire. And he looks out the window, and the barn is on fucking fire.
Yeah, did anybody else go, how did that happen?
100%.
Caleb, Noah, go outside. Oh my God, the animals. Oh shit, the water is probably frozen in the water tower.
I love that they have their own water tower.
Tiernan comes flying out of the house with her boots and her silk shorts on, and she goes into the barn. She's worried about the animals. She loves those animals. And she's helping them get out of the barn.
She slaps the horses to get them to go out of the barn, and they freak out and they push her into the side of the barn.
This was pretty panic-inducing, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
when you really think about, like, a fire is really one of the worst things that could possibly happen to them there. This kind of blew my mind. It was a pretty risky move. So they plug in the hose and they go to try to use it.
Yeah.
It's frozen. Caleb gets in the tractor, goes over, unfoots their water tower so it will fall and go towards the barn. Bold move. Pretty damn risky. Glad it worked out. can't say I was really convinced that it was going to work, to be honest.
Animals are safe. Everybody's in the house, and they can't get to a doctor. There's no way they can get to town. Jake's not there. Somebody needs to take care of Tiernan. Caleb pulls out a first aid kit and is going to proceed to stitch her up. And she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
It's a little more extensive than most of our first aid kits. Like, they've got suture needles and shit.
Yeah, they've got everything because they're in the middle of nowhere. They need to know how to do this. I love that he was a little bit scared. He was like white as a ghost, kind of like intimidated to do it, but he knew that it needed to happen. This scene was insane.
Yeah.
She's like kind of freaking out. She's drank a bunch of tequila at Noah's behest to try and numb the pain, and it's not working.
Caleb gets the first stitch done, and she is screaming, and she's telling him to stop.
She's trying to pull her arm away. She's freaking out, which I would too.
So before she can even think twice or see it coming, Caleb slaps her across the face. And she's like, what the fuck? And Noah's like, yeah, well, you're not hurting your arm anymore, are you? And I'm like, what the fuck, Noah? Like, you just knew that that's what Caleb was going for?
Throughout this entire stitching process, she finally relents and says, okay, go ahead. And it becomes this back and forth of pain, then being nuzzled by Noah, being kissed by Caleb, another stitch happening, pain, Noah choking her, then a kiss from Caleb, another stitch being done. It becomes this ebb and flow to get through this process until she is all completely stitched up. Because this night hasn't been a complete and utter catastrophe, they bring her upstairs to the bathtub. They only have whatever hot water is in the tank, and they proceed to give her a bath that then goes far beyond that.
Yep.
And I think it's time for our sexy stud to usher us into what happens in Caleb's room.
Caleb pulls me up and turns my face to him, guiding my hips. I move on Noah, holding Caleb's eyes as he taunts my ass, working the tip of his fingers inside me. I swallow, tightening up, but he moves my hand to my pussy, telling me to prime myself. I rub my clit in soft, slow circles, and that's where we stay for a minute. Noah pouring my tits as I play with myself, and Caleb's finger resting inside me. Slowly, I relax, and after a couple of minutes, I start backing up into it, my orgasm building again. His finger feels good. It feels bad, but in all the good ways. Gently, he pushes me forward, and I dive into Noah's mouth, moving up and down on his cock. Caleb's dick presses into me, crowning me, and I let out a long breath. Liquid fire courses through me, and I suck in the air through my teeth as he slides in very slowly. Breath by breath, he sinks deeper inside, and I take it slowly, adjusting and relaxing. Good girl, Noah says. I warned you. I breathe out a weak laugh. Yeah, you did. He told me Caleb wanted it this way. My body accepts them both, and slowly we start to move. Noah cups one breast and holds my neck with the other hand, while Caleb takes the other breast and grips my hip. I roll down Noah, taking Caleb inside, and sway back, sliding Caleb out as I take Noah in. I close my eyes, arching my back and jutting out my ass for Caleb. Caleb thrusts into me, our pace quickly speeding up, and after a moment, the boys are doing all the work. Noah fucks me from the bottom, while Caleb slams into my ass again and again, everything filled, and my body on fire. You like it? Noah asks. I nod, delirious with pleasure. Yeah. Caleb fucks my ass but brings me up to kiss him. Everything about his lips soft and sweet. He looks at me. Both boys not letting up as they take what they want. But for me, time stands still.
Did we all know this was going to happen? I just didn't know it was going to happen with the two of them together.
What do you mean? I was waiting for that the whole time.
Yeah. If anything, like, I kind of expected that of the book. Jake was the surprise for me. I figured this was going to be between the two of them for the whole book, and which one is she going to go for? And sometimes it's both of them.
I was fully prepared for it to go all the way and for her to be a Vanderburg club sandwich.
I know, but the girl just had sex for the first time like a week ago. I think it's only been a week and a half. And now she's getting DP'd.
DP'd!
Yeah.
Having anal for the first time and not screaming bloody murder?
I know. Dude, no lube. Barely any foreplay with this. Like,
Well, they're young.
there's too many books that we've read recently where people are having anal with not enough prep. You can also have permanent damage from forcing that kind of thing. Permanent. So these books really bug me.
She wakes up in Caleb's bed the next morning all alone. A big thing is she realizes she doesn't want to be alone anymore, that she is in love with all three of them. There's a moment throughout that day where she is in the bathroom and Caleb comes in and helps her clean the wound. And she says to him, I don't want to fight with you anymore. And he puts his head on her lap, and they're really just having this connector moment after he cleaned up the wound and gave her some aspirin. Jake comes home, and he is pissed off.
I mean, to be fair, he came home, his property damage. How the hell are you going to put a water tower back up in the middle of winter?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute. You have just fucked yourself.
Yeah.
So hard.
She admits to Jake that she slept with the two of them. Jake really doesn't get mad because I think he realized he did the wrong thing. And he should have never slept with her in the first place. And the only thing he asks her if they treated her well. And she says yes.
I kind of loved that, but I also kind of was like, at the same time.
It never should have happened, but at least he stepped back.
Yes.
Time progresses and Christmas and the holidays are coming up.
It does sound kind of lovely up there.
She goes outside. It's now snowing. She sees a beautiful tree that would be great for a Christmas tree, but she doesn't want to kill the tree and she's not going to cut it down. So she slowly starts to cut off some branches. She's coming up with an idea to decorate the house. And who comes up behind her but Caleb?
And it's soft Caleb.
He's helping her cut the stuff down. And then all of a sudden, like a switch gets flipped and he knocks all the branches out of her hand. He pushes her into the workshop where there is an old car there. And she says to him, I don't want you to be soft. She's getting a little worried that when she gets soft Caleb, she's falling for soft Caleb.
Yeah.
She just wants it hard and fast and rough, and she doesn't want him to kiss her.
And he keeps trying to be soft. And she just goes, no, Caleb.
That is an interesting take on it. I didn't really think about the fact that she was like falling for him.
Yeah, those soft moments makes her forget the bad moments that he's done, because he's done some pretty fucking crappy shit to her. And I think those soft moments makes her want him. She just wants to be fucked, and he's not having it because soft Caleb makes her mushy.
I did enjoy they were having sex in the back of a car that's covered with a tarp, so like nobody can see them. It's kind of cool. Anyways, carry on.
What is it with her in the back of cars?
I know.
Tiernan is decorating the house. Christmas is coming around. The whole family is in the living room, and Noah brings her into the kitchen to clean up her wounds and asks what happens when she leaves. And Noah says he wants to keep her. Talks about knocking her up and making sure she doesn't leave.
Noah, no, stop. You're not supposed to have any unhinged moments. You're supposed to be my one fucking guy in this book.
Anytime in any of these books, a guy's like, I'm going to get you pregnant so that you can't go away.
Gah.
That just fucking makes me want to tear things apart.
So infuriating.
Caleb is watching on as Noah and Tiernan are talking in the kitchen. He comes in and he grabs Tiernan. She makes the decision to leave Noah to go be with Caleb. Caleb brings her up to her room and locks her fucking in.
What the fuck?
I had taken it as, you don't get to fuck tonight. Go rest.
I took it as, you ain't fucking anybody but me.
Yeah, I took it as a territorial jealousy thing.
It tracks the way you're saying it as a possessive thing.
That's way too noble, Lex.
Because for the first time in the book, we actually get Caleb's POV. As he looms over her bed, he locked her in her room so she wouldn't be a slut.
I did not like his POV. It cemented everything that I thought about him, that he was fucking unhinged.
Tiernan is starting to have a bad dream again, and Caleb is in the room. He starts touching her, and then he's soothing her.
There was something seriously wrong with him.
Yeah, I mean, we found out why later, which doesn't make it okay. It just means he needs help.
Yeah, he needs so much therapy.
Tiernan instantly realizes it's Caleb without even opening her eyes. She can sense him, and he doesn't realize that when she calls out his name. She's like, Caleb, I fucking hate you. Their dynamic is so fucked up. For her birthday, Caleb had made her a present. He made her a belt with designs etched into the leather. The view from her window, horses, a dream catcher, things that are very particular to her, and she brushed it off as saying, oh, it's probably a design he does all the time. And then was a little confused why there were holes going all the way up the belt. She says, I'm really flattered that you think I'm that small. And Noah had made a comment. He goes, your waist isn't, but your wrists are. He uses the belt to affix her to the bed. She doesn't want him in this way. And she keeps saying no. He is being very aggressive with her. So here we go again. Soft, hard. She's able to get her arm out of the restraint as he has her pinned down. And she runs out of the room and goes to Noah's room and locks herself in there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think Caleb's going to get jealous that you're in his brother's room?
Yeah, just stoke the fire, you fucking nut.
Noah and Tiernan are in bed, and Tiernan finds out the true story about what happened to Caleb and why he doesn't speak. Caleb was 4 years old, and he was out with his mom. His mom was heavily into drugs. She rolled up on a party. He said to him, you stay in the car. I'll be out in a little bit. And he was in the car for 4 days by himself. He screamed, and he screamed, and he screamed until he couldn't scream anymore.
You completely get it. All of a sudden, the power that he has in his life is his voice, and he can choose to use it or not. And that's the direction he chooses to go. It's fucked.
After Noah falls asleep, she ends up going to the bathroom, and Caleb is sitting there. The shower is on. He's sitting at the edge of the tub, and he has a green furniture leg in his hand. Tiernan looks at him and now has sympathy for him after everything that happened and goes to apologize to him and then looks down and, sees what he's got in his hand, and he almost looks remorseful. She realizes that this is the leg to one of the chests that she was working on.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes into the workshop, and it's been destroyed. All the pieces are in the trash. And she's like, you will not break me. You will not control me. And she takes a baseball bat to the rest of the pieces she has worked on.
I would hate him so much. That was a fucked up thing to do.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Yeah.
What is his end goal? What was he possibly thinking in terms of, oh, this is really going to help me get to her in a good way. She'll stay with me.
I think he was trying to push her away because he doesn't trust any women.
Yeah.
If you think this story is even 3/4 of the way done, you are absolutely fucking mistaking yourself.
Yeah.
Once it stops snowing, there's intervention from other people. There's more situations that happen in the house. Caleb and Tiernan are not done. What happens with Jake? Will they continue to sleep together? The last half of this book threw me for a loop. I did not see this going in that direction at all. This book is meaty, and there's a lot of things happening, and we can't have a 9-day episode. So you're going to have to read the book on your own and then see how you feel about everything.
If you need to talk to somebody, we're here for you. You can email us,
DM us.
the Lusty Library podcast at gmail.com. You can email us anytime. Claire on the Cape, I totally get why you wanted us to read this so that you can like have an outlet for somebody to talk to about it. This was a really interesting book.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I would have DNF'd it. I also don't know if I would have read it by myself.
I finished this so that I could talk to the two of you about it.
All right, I think this is going to be really fucked up. I don't know how we're going to get through this, but we're going to try to put numbers on this.
Yeah, we're going to try.
All right, well, let's give this a whirl and see what happens. All right, let's start with the ruby.
You're so funny, Joey. Should we skip to the next one?
Hey, remember in another recording I said I've never given a half of anything before? Well, here we are.
Okay, so we're going to start with the smut. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 raindrops. Yeah. How smutty was this? Jeez, Lex.
You really want to start with me?
We're starting with you.
I have to acknowledge that there was smut in here, but it's at a 1. I was so creeped out by so much of it. I think the scenes with Noah is the only ones that I could handle as being okay, because you've got Jake who's taking advantage of a power position. Oh, and then you've got unbalanced Caleb. Oh, at least Noah's like, let's just have fun. It'll make it feel good. And he was honest about it every step of the way. All right. He gets that 1 raindrop.
Listen, I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. There might be some people that this is for them.
Yeah.
If you like older men, this very may well be for you in every way. If you like unhinged men, this could be for you. I could actually see some people taking Caleb in a totally different perspective. Please just go read the book and decide for yourself. For me, despite all the things, I'm still going to put it at like a 2.5. Because there were some scenes that were super hot in this book. If you take them out of context, they were hot as fuck. This book still did it for me more than some other books we've read that didn't have unhinged people and or anything at all. For what is in there, it's written really well, and there's some steamy stuff.
How you doing, Joey?
Not good.
I've never seen you like this before.
When you look at us as a group, I think you could easily say I am decisive. I'm the first one to order. I don't backpedal. When I make a decision, I make a decision. When we do books for this podcast, I do 2 passes on every book, and the first pass is where my score comes from. Sometimes I'll make an adjustment if I heard something different on the second time. I left my first read of this, and I didn't put 1 fucking number down. Okay, I'm going to save it for the second pass. I read this book 2.5 times, and I don't know what to fucking tell you.
Let me just put it out there. Is it because you don't want to admit that something that is so wrong can still be hot?
No, because I think I'm just still so torn on it. I have no problem admitting something taboo is hot as shit.
Okay.
If it's hot, it's hot. And sometimes it strikes you for different reasons.
Right.
This book legit threw me for a loop. There were some parts that I really liked and some parts that I was like cringing over. So at the end of the day, maybe I'm going the middle of the road with a 3. There was smut in there. There was some chemistry. The hot moments were counteracted by the cringy moments. Other people being in awkward situations don't make me feel awkward. I'm not in them. This book made me feel awkward at times. I don't know. Yeah, we're going with the fucking 3. Moving on to story. Okay? I'm so fucked up over this.
Did we just skip romance then?
We are skipping.
Yes,
Okay.
we're skipping it.
If you're going to give it a -2, I think Birdie's still going to go somewhere in the 2 range, and I don't know what to tell you. I'll go middle of the road.
I don't know if I have a 2 in me, to be honest
then
with you.
Then we're going to just skip.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go to story. You can give this anywhere from 1 to 5 storybooks. Birdie, where are you going for story here?
I'm going with a 3. It was extremely interesting character development. The story itself was, pretty basic concept, contemporary people, because there was no romance. But anyhow, human beings interacting, interesting. Yeah. Some nice descriptions of escapism locale.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, Lex, where do you land for story?
I'm around a 3 also because I was compelled to keep seeing where this was going. I wanted to see where this train that was off the rails was just going to end up.
Real quick, how pissed off were you at the end?
At the end of the story, I was sort of like, all right. And then we got to the epilogue and I was like, oh, fucking Christ.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
All right, carry on.
I was actually waiting for certain things in the story to drop. All right, what's going to be the tragedy with Caleb? Okay. How is going to work out at the end with the motocross group in town? There's a moment where Caleb does something and it's supposed to be well, that's true love. I was like, saw that coming a mile away. Okay. There's something to be said for you kept me all the way along to get to all those moments. So
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 3.
I'm going at a 3.5. And the reason I'm doing that is because of the way this book has thrown me for a loop and all the emotions that I'm feeling. And I will tell you, I think the best parts of the story were the parts with Caleb. If he hadn't done those sexual assault things and everything else that had happened, that hot and cold, and then they got to what happened towards the end of the book, I think I would have come off with a different score. And I think that's why I feel so torn. Because every time that was good, it was overshadowed by those bad situations or cringeworthy things. I guess that's what makes a great book. And I've read Penelope Douglas, and I love the Devil's Night series. Like those 4 books I ate up like cotton candy. So I know her writing style. I know how she pushes the limit. If you were to ask me next month, if I liked this book, I don't know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, you need to read it and just judge it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that is the only place I'm coming off of this book. This story did have a lot of engaging pieces to it. I think the characters were written super, super well. And the tragedy that happened, I think that's what gave this a 3.5 for me.
Yeah.
Let's throw it all into a blender. So we can literally say there was no real romance in this book or perceived romance. I don't know. This was not a loving, never mind. Just let's leave the romance to die today. Put everything else back together. What the fuck are you rating this book at the end of the day? Lex?
When we get to this last one, this is absolutely all about like my personal preference. And it's at a 2.5. Am I glad I read it? Yes. Did we have great conversation around it? Absolutely. Do I think people should read it and judge for themselves? Uh-huh. So go ahead, go read it, have a conversation, feel your feels. But I'm at a 2.5. Sometimes I pick up books again and read them like old friends. This ain't it. Chapel Peak needs to stay right where it is.
Bird.
I'm putting this at a 3. I very much enjoyed the boundary pushing. Did Caleb's hot coldness drive me absolutely insane? Yes, it did. Did I like the ending? No.
See, and I dug the ending. That was my favorite part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't have to like the ending to like the book. I still think after putting it all in the blender that I've never read a lot of books like this where they're pushing boundaries of like familial ties and tension. And this is why we read books. These are things I will never do in my real life.
Right.
For me, reading about being in the middle of Colorado, in the middle of nowhere, and seeing that slice of life was absolutely a level of escapism that I truly enjoyed. So that element was super fun for me. If you even remotely find any of this conversation interesting, you should definitely give it a shot.
I'm giving this a 2, a 3, and a 4 because I had all the emotions and all the feels over it. There were parts of this book I hated. There were parts of this book that I was cool with, and there were parts of this book that I loved. And then when you threw it all together, I guess if you want to go down the middle, 2.5 out of 5. Am I happy I read it? Absolutely. This was an experience. Is this the first of this type of book I've read? No. And I'm okay with taboo. I've read tons of taboo stuff. But there were just a lot of things that I just don't dig that didn't make it hot for me. The age gap thing. Someone being under the age of 18 with an older man. The stepfamily component I was okay with because there was no blood there. I get enemies to lovers, but dude crossed the line. He almost sexually abused.
Yeah.
It put such a negative taste in my mouth. But then the relationship she had with Noah was just bright. She had such a reawakening and a learning after such a shitty life that at the end, when she realized what she wanted and went for it, that was great. This was a roller coaster of a ride. All I'm going to tell you, listeners, is you're going to be so confused and be like, should I read this book? Should I not read this book? It's really going to be up to you. And you're going to have your own opinion on it. And just know the author worked really hard to write this story. If you look at the reviews online, I either feel like people love this or they hate this. For me, I'm a little bit of both right now. And there's value and there's cringiness in the whole thing. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Claire, girl, we need to talk about your book selection.
No, here's the thing. I think she did us solid.
Claire hit the nail on the head with this.
This was a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of recommendations of like, oh my God, have you read the new Allie Hazelwood? I'm like, listen, I love Allie Hazelwood, but give us something that we can really sink our teeth into.
That's why we do this. And that's why each of us get to pick our own books and we choose different ones. And we try to really make an effort to, let's hit all these subgenres. Well, we haven't done that. Let's read about it.
Because we want to see and find out and talk about because, like you said before, we're here to explore.
Oh, well, I just think the volatility of this episode is registering at level 742. And I think we need another cocktail. We really appreciate you tuning in for another fun-packed episode. Make sure you visit us on our social media pages, the Lusty Library Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. Or if you're a little blue sky junkie, we are the Lusty Library Pod. Go find us there now.
If you've made it this far into the episode, thank you so much for listening again. And don't forget to hit that follow button wherever you're listening to us. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, the works. We're everywhere. We're following you. Hit follow. Thanks.
You know what, folks? I don't know if you remember a few episodes ago, but we made a bet with Joey here and we kind of lost. So coming up is Joey's pick for me for the end of the season, and we're getting ready for the holidays. So strap in for The Naughty List by Jade West.
You're welcome.
I can't wait.
Oh, this is going to be oh so very good.
Happy holidays.
As always, we cannot thank you enough for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.